So this is from a few days ago.
Christian influencers. Okay. He said, we talked about the woke right. And he said, I call it the woke Reich. That's a brilliant observation. The woke Reich, because these people, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane. They're movies.
Calling people Nazis. I really think that this is like they're trying to polymorph the same mob for the 12th time. And it's just not working. Bro, it's totally DR'd. You can't CC it anymore. You've used it too many times. It's not working.
But they're actually meeting on some of the things. And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done with
systematically. What do you mean by that?
Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. To that.
I think that maybe there's money that's coming out. I mean, I don't know the evidence of this, right? But like, is there probably money that's being spent on making Israel look bad? I mean, I'm open to the idea of that, sure, but I'm not really seeing a huge amount of examples of that. And also, I mean, really, this is not. I don't. How are you even comparing it to the stranglehold that Israel has on American politics? It's not even remotely close. I think that really the turning has been, like, as I said before, it's resource allocation, and then also people just simply seeing videos of Palestine. You see videos of Gaza, you see videos of kids, and that has been, if you agree or disagree, you have to acknowledge it's successfully been blamed on Israel. And because of that, I think that's what's radicalized a lot of people against Israel. It's simply looking at that stuff.
Community, they're very important. And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle.
Fake videos?
The weapons change over time. You can't fight today with swords. That doesn't work very well, okay? And you can't fight with cavalry. That doesn't work very well. And you have these new things, like drones, things like that. I won't get into that.
The pagers.
But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are the social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is followers. TikTok. TikTok. Number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential.
I've been seeing reports that comments and statements that were critical of Israel have been getting banned on TikTok now. It's hard really to know whether they're accurate or true because it's still it's been happening in the last couple of days. So it's uncertain whether this is something that's actually happening or it's something that's just kind of being overstated for effect. But I've been seeing this quite a bit. And I test it. What should I say?
And the other one? What's the other one? That's most important. X. X. Exactly. Very good. And, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. We should talk to him. Now, if we can get those two.
For what? What do you want Elon to do? Really? Because I don't want to have social media censored because social media has turned against Israel. Because that's really what he's asking for, probably.
Things we get a lot, and I could go on other things, but that's not the point.
Do you think it's better for China or Israel to control it? I'm just curious. I don't remember seeing a lot of anti-Chinese statements being censored and controlled on the old TikTok. Now, I'm sure that some of them were because they would basically just be racism, but I don't remember seeing categorical criticism of China be censored on TikTok. And I think that one of the big reasons for that is because mainland China used a different version of TikTok than the global version. Why can't America control it? And also, by the way, do you want to get kicked in the dick or punched in the dick? I don't know. I'd probably rather neither, right?
We have to fight the fight, okay? To give direction to the Jewish people and give direction to our non-Jewish friends or those who could be our Jewish our friends. Are we going to succeed with everyone? No. Will there be a strong counterpart? Yes.
So they had a big meeting and everything, is paying influencers $7,000 per post. And you've got obviously a lot of people that met up and they're trying to push an Israel agenda. And I think there was a couple of other videos about this. I'll watch maybe one or two more and then we're going to go ahead and move on. But yeah, that's been going on for a while. And this is kind of a new thing too. So conspiracy theories say Jews try to control media to their advantage. Now he wants to control media to their advantage. Doesn't that fuel anti-Semitism? I think everybody says that about every controlling group of people. I don't really think that's something that's unique to Jewish people, if you want me to be honest.
So something I would like to raise, which was actually my first published paper, was how you and the Likud party are cut from the same ideological cloth as Trump and the GOP in America. And so specifically with Charlie Kirk's assassination, who was a big mentor of mine, who's my first mentor in the space, evangelicals, from all my research, evangelicals are the reason that Israel has been supported in public.
That's the fucking problem. Stop reading it fucking literally. Yeah, that's the fucking problem. Holy shit.
Public sphere outside of just Jews. So with Charlie's assassination and with the kind of trajectory that we see with like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, I guess I'm curious about what's another game plan if we lose evangelical support for the state of Israel. What's our backup plan to be strong, like outside of the diaspora?
Christian influencers, okay? You said, we talked about the woke right, and you said, I call it the woke right.
We saw this.
That's a
good one. Is this this is the whole thing? There's one more.
But the people like Eric Swalwell and Adam Schiff who are clutching their pearls over foreign influence in U.S. elections and politics, are they going to be upset about the Israel paid influencer campaign?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would love to know that. You know, I watch Democrats burn a lot of money trying to beat me in my district. So if Israel and AIPAC wants to burn a lot of money, then I welcome it.
Insane.
I love watching money burn, especially when it won't work. But here's the thing. Let's talk about the social media influencers. I made 2 posts about this today. I find it highly offensive as an American that social media influencers can get paid basically under the table and no one knows who is paying them and who is sponsoring them. So
that's not true. It's technically against the rules. That's why people put #ad on stuff. But this is actually, to my knowledge, the 3rd time this has happened. Well, the 3rd unconfirmed time, the 2nd confirmed time. Because we had the whole fiasco with I wasn't really covering a lot of this stuff back then, so I don't really know all the details. But a lot of people were, according to them, unknowingly, but still being paid by Russia to promote, like Russian, basically not really Russian propaganda, but things that aligned with Russian interests. And then there was an entire discussion about Tucker Carlson maybe taking money from Qatar. So you have more and more people that are taking money from foreign governments to advocate for American policy. It's so exhausting. The DOJ made that up, by the way. The Russia thing was fabricated. Really? Okay. I'm not talking about the Trump the Trump thing. I'm talking about something separate, by the way. If you're getting confused by the two things, I'm not talking about the Trump thing.
So today I made 2 posts. I made 1 post calling for any social media influencer, if they are getting paid by a foreign country, that they have to register under FARA. They have to register under FARA through the Department of Justice. The second post
I think that's extremely fair. I agree with her.
Made probably about an hour ago is I posted that, as a matter of fact, all social media influencers, they should have a badge or an icon or a different color check mark that lets the American people know that they take money for their posts, whether it's political, corporate sponsorship.
She's right about this too. It should be denoted that it's political propaganda.
Or on behalf
right.
of a foreign government. I think these paid social media influencers need to, it's just like on TV you have to talk about who is sponsoring your program.
Of course.
Broadcasters have to say this message is brought to you by XYZ. I think it should be the same for social media influencers. But the biggest part, Matt, is when it comes to them taking money from foreign governments.
Yes.
They should have to disclose that. It should be made available to the American people, and especially our MAGA influencers that are so-called America First.
I'm very close to calling it treason. I'm going to just be fucking real. I am really close. And I know, okay, yeah, you've got freedom of speech. But whenever you're being paid to work with a foreign fucking government to work against the interests of your country, what the fuck do you call that?
The biggest message they need to hear is they're not America First if they're taking payments by a foreign government.
I hardly ever agree with her, but I agree with pretty much everything she said. There you go. Yeah, political activist punishment time. Yeah, I mean, Nick Fuentes said it first. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, fuck. I'm not surprised. I think a lot of people probably said this stuff. Yeah, absolutely. And let's see if I can find a few more of these. And talk. I feel like she has been crashing out ever since that Nick interview. I don't even want to watch her. Let me see if I can give you guys some examples of the. Where is the rest of this? New viewer, ownership. Oh yeah, I think I saw that before. So here's a good example of things that have been happening, and you're not wrong there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. She's lost it. I mean, I think that she has been. So the comment details, and so people have been using a juice box, and the juice emoji has apparently gotten banned on TikTok. Is this accurate? I don't use TikTok. There's like. I used to have like an ex-girlfriend that would send me TikToks, and so I downloaded it because she'd get mad if I didn't watch them. But other than that, I don't use TikToks. So are you able to use the juice emoji or not? Candace is trying to discredit the space. I don't know if she's doing that intentionally, but I think that she's creating that effect. Oh, this is the guy that's buying TikTok.
Your body cams will be transmitting that. The police will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording, watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
When you come to government and what government's doing, there are artificial intelligence tools, and some of them I know that Oracle have developed around financial management for government. But also, tell us a bit about because you're right at the forefront of this revolution, what it means for what government should do in terms of its digital infrastructure, digital ID, data centers, and so on.
How do you take advantage of these incredible AI models? And the first thing a country needs to do is to unify all of their data so it can be consumed and used by the AI model. You have to take all of your healthcare data, your diagnostic data, your electronic health records, your genomic data. And in the Middle East...
We are so cooked, man. Oh, jeez.
In the UAE, for example, they're incredibly rich in data. They have a lot of population data. The NHS in the UK has an
These are the guys pushing digital ID. I would have never guessed. Somebody in chat saying that this is the kind of guy that's pushing for digital ID. Can you believe that?
Data. But it's fragmented. It's not easily accessible by these AI models. We have to take all of this data we have in our country and move it into a single, if you will, unified...
Somebody says people will not let this happen. Okay. I mean, listen, we've got ourselves a revolutionary in chat. In my opinion, I think that the public will accept digital ID. Right now, I think that and also if they won't accept it right now, after a string of terror attacks or a string, like, I mean, Patriot Act, like, really, easily could happen again. Easily. So easily. Yeah, look at COVID. All you have to do is make people scared. And then they'll do whatever you want.
Data platform. So we provide context. When we want to ask a question, we've provided that AI model with all the data they need to understand our country. So that's the big
So you
step.
have an AI government. I like that. Sounds good. Aren't they doing that somewhere? I forgot the country they're doing that in.
That's kind of the missing link. We need to unify all of the national data, put it into a database where it's easily
Albania, there it
consumable
is.
by the AI model, and then ask whatever question you like.
So you're really, through the use of this, you're revolutionizing the way government works, right? The services it provides, the way that it operates. What about things like financial management, procurement? How can AI help a government operate more efficiently, more effectively, give a more direct and better service to the citizen?
Well, we have these modern financial systems. So, countries can, and all, for example, the AI system will help you do that. But again, the secret.
Do you see this happening in the U.S. without any political pushback? I think that there will be a large political pushback, but I think if they mandate something like this after a tragedy, I think that the public will accept it on a general level. I think that you vastly underestimate the amount of normies there are and people that have no real concern of their privacy. And I think also it's very, I mean, think about all of the rights and opportunities and things that people gave up during COVID. Think about how dystopian COVID was. And that was over a flu.
To get all of that data in one place. Without having the basic data, it cannot answer the question about your country. I think countries are very uncomfortable with keeping their data in other countries' data centers. So I think
Wow.
part of our essential infrastructure, just like airports obviously need to be in our country, or they're not terribly useful. Ports need to be in our country, and they're not terribly useful.
You can't get on the airplane.
Data
Yeah.
centers, because of the privacy requirements around the data, need to be in our countries,
Well,
or
that's
they're
something
not
I agree
terribly
with.
useful.
Sure.
They need to be in our countries, but they also need to be secure. And there are new technologies right now. This is the last year you will ever log on to an Oracle system with a password. Next,
What are you going to use now? Are you going to use your blood?
by the middle of this year, I'm quite certain you are Tony Blair. So how do I know? Well, I look at you, I hear your voice, I listen to the kind of questions you ask.
Fingerprint?
I'm pretty sure you're not,
No.
you're not synthetically created in having this conversation. The security system, we have biometric logins. The computer recognizes you. It recognizes your voice. It might ask you to put your index finger on the return key. And we're absolutely certain it's you. There's no reason to enter a password. In fact, passwords are too easily stolen. Data centers and data is being taken hostage all over the world.
Isn't this extremely weird? No, this is nothing, bro. You see, the other really big piece of this that we haven't really seen fully manifest is transhumanism in a way that expands the human capabilities. That's the one piece to this puzzle that hasn't really been fully explored yet because of limitations of technology. As soon as that starts to happen, that's whenever things are going to get really interesting. Right now, all forms of transhumanism are done in a way to make a human being go from 80% or 70% to 100%. Right? Like in terms of a robotic arm or a prosthetic leg or maybe an eye implant or something like that. But what happens when technology advances enough to where those types of augments literally become like Cyberpunk, where you are doing this to go above 100% of the human's capability. That is the other really big piece of this conversation that a lot of guys are already talking about, but it hasn't really manifested in any sort of public thought. And will people accept being chipped? I think that you're going to need to see a further decline of religion. I think that in a non-religious society, the answer is yes. In a Christian religious society, I think that the answer to that is no. That's my current, like, I'm making all of this up, by the way. I'm just inventing this out of thin air, but that's my opinion.
The ransomware business is a very, very good business. It's getting bigger and better every year. We tend not to talk about it because the American FBI has a simple advice to someone whose data has been ransomed. Just pay them because there's nothing we can do about it. But there is something.
There's nothing they will do about it because it happens too often and it's not worth their resources. They can obviously solve this problem, but they just can't. They're not going to do it unless it's a big deal.
We can do about it. Not after the data is stolen, but before the data is stolen, we can make sure that we're using the latest security technology, and it is going to be biometrics assisted by AI to make sure that you are in fact Tony Blair, and I'm sure you are. Now, I would love to live to be 150 years old.
Well, it's
How do you live to be 150 years old? The exact thing that I was talking about. Because all of these guys think the same way. And honestly, like Larry Ellison, Peter Thiel, all of these people, they are incredibly intelligent, like prudent people. None of them are stupid. So if you just think about this logically, you will come to the same conclusion. Yeah, you can say they're crazy, you can say they're evil, you can say they're wrong, but you can't say they're stupid.
There's an amazing opportunity to reimagine the state, the way that government functions, and the service that it can provide for its citizens.
All transhumanists? Yes, exactly. And yeah, it's a whole lot. Theo's ruthless business-wise? Well, a lot of people that are successful are. Of course, that's what happens. So if someone steals my fingerprint, they can log into my digital ID, then they can steal all my shit. Sounds secure. I don't think fingerprint is what's probably... I don't think fingerprint is the future. I think that that's the past. I think that fingerprints are too easy to... like basically fake. And I think that they will probably use other biometric indicators. Like, for example, a lot of you guys have used the airport, right? And so you go and like you have your eyes scanned, right? Iris is the new fingerprint. Now, is iris going to be the future in 50 years? I would expect absolutely not. But at the current technology, it seems like people are using iris verification rather than fingerprint verification. And so, I mean, obviously, like, yeah, a lot of guitarists have no fingerprints. Oh, yeah, and there's other criminals that, take their fingerprints off as well. And so, like, by burning them off or scraping them off, etc. So, yeah, I will probably be multi-spectrum. Yeah, definitely. Creating a black market for eyes. I mean, it would be pretty hard to do that, but I mean, everything is going to happen like that. But yes, this is pretty much what's happened. A lot of people are Jewish financing forced their way into TikTok, started to censor the Jewish emote. There it is. And so you see a lot of people talking about how, it's being censored. Netanyahu said propaganda war and TikTok is the eighth front in Israel's expansionist war in the Middle East. Interesting timing after his best friend, Jewish billionaire Larry Ellison, bought TikTok in a deal brokered by Trump. They are not even hiding it now. No, they're not. They're just saying it straight out. So, yeah, that's how it goes. And I don't know what to say. I'm going to challenge the assertion. There have been, these people have been very poor long-term planning capabilities. They fail very hard at foreseeing undesired effects of their short-term planning. I think that's an abstract statement. You'd have to make a better example of that happening, because I would say somebody like Peter Thiel, I think that he bets on winners. I mean, he's friends with J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is the fucking vice president. He's got Palantir. Palantir is plugged right into the FBI. I mean, like, what are we talking about? These guys are bad decision makers. I think they're really good decision makers. They're really fucking smart. Like, I mean, what are you talking about? Yeah, He made JD Vance pro. I don't know if he made JD Vance. I think that's maybe a bit much to say, but I think obviously he was connected to him, of course. But yeah, that's my opinion.